As I was preparing for this week's episode, it dawned on me that over the course of the 3 years that I've been working on my project, the Cosmic Gateways Tarot, I've never really explained what the Cosmic Gateways were, nor have I talked much about the themes and the symbolism of this deck. This week, I'd like to take a deep dive and to share some of the intricacies of my tarot deck project. There's quite a lot to cover, so we'll do this in 2 parts. If you're new here, my name is B. Lewis. I am an artist, author, and tarot deck enthusiast, and this is my journey to completion for the project, the Cosmic Gateways Tarot. So before we get into the deck itself, let's explore what exactly tarot is. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, tarot is defined as any set of usually 78 playing cards, including 22 pictorial cards used for fortune telling. As we explore later in this series, tarot can be used for a great many things beyond the common connotations and Hollywood representations of the medium. And I'll say because of those common thoughts and theories about the medium, I've had some really interesting and downright just comical responses to me reading tarot and sharing some of those readings that range from it being the devil's work to getting all kinds of underhanded comments about what I'm doing to suggest there's something wrong with me. Child, people be peopling. I swear. But I digress. Modern day tarot usually follows one of 3 pre-established systems. The Tarot de Marseille, right? Excuse me, I'm getting all tangled up. Tarot de Marseille, the Rider-Waite-Smith, which was illustrated by Pamela Coleman Smith under the direction of A.E. Waite, and the Thoth Tarot by this dude, Aleister Crowley. The Cosmic Gateways Tarot is inspired by the Rider-Waite-Smith system, and it will follow the same name, numbering, and common meaning associations, but my intention has been to expand on those common interpretations. It includes 78 cards along with a guidebook and an optional companion book for further expansion. One of my goals with this deck has been to make a contribution towards the overwhelming lack of positive representation of the African diaspora in spiritual imagery. And there is a lot to be covered, or that could be covered. There's a huge void to be filled. It's something that was sparked by my first tarot deck purchase at the age of about 16. I had bought this little bitty pocket-sized Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck from Spencer's, and when I brought it home, I couldn't tell you what the heck I was looking at. Really, I couldn't make heads or tails of it, and it wasn't a lot of information out there to help me decipher what I was looking at or how to read it, what the cards meant, outside from reading specific spreads. And so one of the reasons I couldn't or didn't stick with tarot early on was because I couldn't connect to the imagery. Like, not at all. And so I've later come, of course, to appreciate the deck for obvious reasons. It is the backbone of my own deck, but I think it's paramount to be able to see yourself in the tools that you use for spiritual growth. Let's look at it like this. It's easier to see yourself in roles of greatness if you have exposure to such greatness. Put another way, if I'm constantly seeing myself as a superhero or seeing superheroes that look like me, I might be more inclined to think of myself as super too. And in a more practical sense, I probably wouldn't have become an artist had I not had my very first Black art teacher at a crucial sort of turning point of my life. And the same can be said with images of gods, goddesses, mystical beings, and so forth. Representation matters, and it begs the question, why aren't there many positive representations of darker skinned people globally? Because it's not just North America, it's everywhere. And I think I know the answer. I do. But I'm going to leave that for you to explore. I could do a whole dissertation on the topic, but let me know in the comments below what you think the impact of excluding a certain group of people in images of divinity and greatness has had on said people. Because if you know, I promise. The Cosmic Gateways Tarot, like most tarot decks, is divided into 2 groups. The Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. I included visual cues to let you know which of the 2 you're working with. The Major Arcana deals with major life events, big changes, and represents archetypal energy. You'll know them by the glowing triangles. They glow as a nod to my appreciation for Afro-Futurism and science fiction as a whole. These triangles themselves are the alchemical symbols for the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. In tarot, those elements can represent a few things, but to keep it brief, earth represents the material, also known as the physical realm, and will be grounded in earthly endeavors. Air represents the mental and your thought forms as well as logic. Water represents the emotional realm, your feelings, and also one's intuition, while fire represents the creative divine spark. Now, I could do probably a whole separate video about the significance of these triangles themselves and how you can use them to your advantage in your readings, and I still might. But these triangles are featured prominently in the major arcana card to signal to the subconscious mind to work with these elements or to tap into these elements in some way. For example, it could be a sign to either work with these elements to create and shape your reality, to manipulate the specific energy around you as an alchemist of sorts, or to shine a light in the area of your life that is most active or that needs the most attention at that time. By doing so, you're affecting your overall trajectory of your life's path according to whatever that major arcana card is. So it's usually placed on the area above the third eye to let you know that the process of channeling the power of those elements is the process taking place within the mind to affect other areas of your being. As the saying goes, the mind is all, universe is mental. And this is important as it comes to the triangles represented in the major arcana cards. In addition to the emphasis of the elements, the deck as a whole features representations of various deities and mythical creatures from many spiritual systems. For example, the goddess Lakshmi shows up in two of the cards I've created, which are the Lover's card and the Page of Pentacles. They're symbols for the gods Kansu and Ganesha in the Page of Wands. So some of the representations are more overt than others, but they are scattered throughout the whole thing. And I've counted out 10 or 11 or so far. Others are Anansi in the Magician card, Baron Samedi in the Death card, Oshun in the Queen of Wands, and the list goes on and it keeps growing. Now, I'm not sure if I choose the beings featured or they choose me. Sometimes it comes up unintentionally, but anytime I've created a card around a specific being, the inspiration strikes quite unexpectedly. And it's funny because I'll tend to second guess myself. If I get a design idea, my first thing is, well, does it even fit the deck? And I'm quickly reminded that this deck really is an amalgamation of many different magical beings, and I'm allowing myself to receive that inspiration as it comes, which might be playing a part to how long it's taking me to do. But listen, when they want to be included, it's hard to ignore the request, so I oblige graciously. So here's another example of a deity making an appearance in the deck. Can you name who it is and what it might represent based on what you see in the image? Just let me know in the comments below. I think that's going to be the end of part 1. Join me next week as we explore what exactly the cosmic gateways are, where the name for the deck came from, and where my ideas and inspirations come from. Until next time, peace.